Hey guys, what's up? I'm here with Joshua Singh, a friend of mine and an amazing video editor who works for Outcast India. And today we'll be talking about video editing and how we can survive in the industry. So, Joshua, can we start off with how you started on with video editing, how you started to learn, and where did you pick it up first and things like that? And then we'll move on to the more challenging questions. Over to you, dude.
So how did I start, or how did I
Yep.
start learning?
Yeah, how did you start? Where did you start first? And things like that.
So I first started learning, and it was not a learning part for me, but I had this interest when Instagram came on, and I loved taking videos. And when you put it all videos together, change the transitions with the sound effect, I think that part of video editing was like the Instagram level of video editing was there in me, but slowly turned as an interest. And I took visual communication after that, and it intrigued me more to learn video editing more and more. So I think I was working some elsewhere before I actually took up a video editing job, which I was not happy with where I was working.
Okay.
And for me to go from like earning 20,000 a month to settle for 5,000 a month just to do what I love to do was a very big step.
Yeah.
So I think uh, I started off. I didn't had any profile, to be honest. I just made two videos with my sorry, four videos with my friends,
Okay.
and from there on, I think my journey of video editing. And I used to also direct. I directed like three music videos. So for my journey started from like February 2022. Before
Okay.
that, before that I didn't even knew that I'm gonna like I didn't plan any of this. I'm gonna work in a media this thing, but I think from there on I have been enjoying my work, editing videos and stuff.
Wow. Awesome. So, you spoke about visual communication intriguing you more. I just wanted to know more on what aspect of visual communication, like if you like aspects like designing. Like I think we had a semester on design aesthetics or film aesthetics, uh, or the print design or the sound design part. So, which part of it pushed you more, and which semester actually helped you a lot when it came to video editing? So that's what I wanted to ask.
Okay, to be very honest, I don't remember the subjects I had, but
Yeah, most of us don't.
I mean, I just don't remember. I just remember we had film aesthetic and scripted.
Yeah,
But the most like the what intrigued me is when I was doing video editing, I was getting a lot of inputs like, bro, this is so cool. You should be doing more of this. So when people tell you and you have a right crowd around you, no matter if it's bad, they
yeah,
still tell it's good. So I think that kind of intrigued me. And to be honest, when you are a designer and a video editor together, I think that's like a plus point for you because you know how to place every
yeah.
frame.
Element, yeah, elements in the
Yeah,
frame.
that's the best part of being a designer and a video editor. So I
Yeah,
think to me, I think design aesthetics and something like film has helped me a lot to understand of video editing, just like the one I showed you in the in the morning.
yeah,
So I think that part of video editing was what like design part of our course really helped me to understand how to place the elements, how to use colors in the video that I'm working on an ad.
yeah.
So yeah, how to use typography, like transitions. Not I so I have a very simple style of editing. So I can adapt at the same time. I can also stick to one particular style. So that's
Yeah.
how.
Amazing, amazing. Yeah, like being a designer and a video editor is a really, it's a really big plus point. Yeah. And how has your
Exactly.
experience been video editing till now? So, what do you edit on? Like, what's your favorite software and why do you edit on it?
to be very honest, people who don't use who like for people, first question they ask is which software do you use? And when I say, they always expect an answer like After Effects or like Adobe Premiere Pro.
Yeah,
But so far I've been only editing in Final Cut Pro because I know every inch of Final Cut Pro by now. So I edit all my videos in Final Cut Pro. I
yeah,
think for me, Final Cut Pro is very. I'm not like it's easy. It's
yeah,
very it's understandable, and it depends on who is editing. So
yeah,
if you give a
exactly.
designer a normal phone app, he's gonna make a kick-ass design there as well
Yeah,
without the professional tools. But that's gonna be like that is a design. But
yeah,
so when you have a like right interest and where you're putting it into, you're gonna do you can do anything. I feel so. I've been
yeah.
designing on like I've been making my videos especially only on Final Cut Pro so far,
Okay.
and I'm kind of learning
Yeah,
learning After Effects because of demand,
yeah.
people's demand.
I think it's the tool. It's not the tool, but the creator who's using the tool. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
They all have the same function. The only different is the effects kind
Yeah,
of
I think it's
like
basically the only change is the application. For example, After Effects would be mostly used for like really crazy stuff where you need like intricate details on certain things. That's where you might use After Effects more, or where you want to create some amazing intros for your videos and things like that. Yeah, definitely After Effects. But yeah, for cutting, splicing, and creating videos, Premiere Pro, After Effects, no, sorry, and Final Cuts
I
are like it's too good. Yeah, again, like, so when you edit a video, do you listen to your client when they give an idea and it's really bad, because they are paying you, or are you going to explain to them by saying, you know what, this is not going to look good, but we can have this idea. Do you do that, or you just stick to the client's you know client's details as to how they want it?
so so when I get a video, like when I get a freelance work,
Okay,
uh, I first so first they brief me about what they need in the video, what is the requirement, and I always ask like I have a step. So first thing I ask is the content in the video.
okay,
Okay, what's the content? What is the video about? Or like what all are going to be the text that's going to be in the video? Is
okay.
my first question.
Hmm.
Then they brief it to me. The second
Yeah,
thing is the colors that are going to be used. How do you want the video? Do you want stock videos that are going to be added, or you want to be like a simple plain background? How do you like? I think when a client wants, like when you're freelance, like when a client comes to you for a freelance job, he knows what he wants, so he'll be explaining it to you in a way. So by the time he's explaining you the content of what he needs in the video, you'll be understanding of what, getting an idea of what they want.
yeah,
And
exactly.
one more thing I ask, very important, is the reference video. There's always a
Oh,
reference video
yes. Okay.
and to get an idea of it. I always ask for a reference video.
Nice.
And for example, if I think the client is not the client is not liking my design, like if I'm not liking my client's ideas of how the video is gonna be, so
Okay.
I be very honest. I'll be very honest at the first place. Like
Okay.
for recently, I did a video where the audio was not good at all.
Okay.
I had to tell I had to be like, I'm being very true, like honest to
Honest.
you,
Yeah.
but it's very hard.
Okay.
But like as clients being clients, they want the video to be done. So I did this one thing. Okay,
Okay.
I do this every time. So I do what the client wants and I do what I want. So I do
Okay.
two processes at the same time.
Okay.
So one, what exactly the client wants, every inch of it,
Okay.
and two is my
Idea
addition
of
to
the
it.
version. Yeah.
Yeah, idea of the my version of the project and
Okay.
my ideas,
Okay.
but not different from theirs.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I think for me, this always works out. Okay, when I send them the first one, uh, they always be like, "Oh, this is wrong." So like, yeah, that's what I told. Also, I have this. Check this out.
Yeah.
So I can do this two thing, and then by this time, I think my clients are impressed by me. By that time, But I'm telling you this very honestly. When I do this thing,
Yeah.
people actually don't call me for a second draft or third draft. They just finalize as draft, first draft I send, then this one.
Okay.
This. So this
Nice.
always works out. Uh, what the client needs and what you provide, but the communication is very important. And
Yeah.
when you
Very
get
much.
a freelance job, it's not just a video to edit. It's the research you do on the place. If you're doing it bluntly, then probably the video would have no meaning to it.
Exactly.
That's it. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. And like I've had instances where there are clients who are really dumb, and they would just send me 10 videos on WhatsApp, and they'd be like, I want it edited like this, and I want it to be on social media on this day. So their videos would be, some would be in portrait, some would be in landscape. And how could one edit that? No, that's so annoying. And at times, some clients are so, they know what they want. They just come out, they just tell you, I need a video like this. It should be in landscape. It's going on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. It's gonna be in landscape mode. I want it to look like this. They'd give you a reference video, and they'll tell you how the video was shot, who took it, and what resolution they want. But not all times while you are freelancing you can get that flexibility of having clients like these. So what do you do at those times?
I think one thing I always ask my client for is if I have the flexibility for my creativeness in that. I also always time, do I have the flexibility? Do I have the freedom? Do I have the freedom to uh, make the video or create it the way I want? I mean, what keeping their perspective in mind, the way I want to. And when I actually like, I'll share this one experience. I actually got a client.
Okay.
I got one job that they sent me two people talking about something,
Okay.
and when I asked for a reference video how to edit it, they sent me a Doctor Strange behind the scenes video reference
What?
as a reference.
Okay.
And I'm not joking. My first question was, okay, wait, hold up. The the videos that they sent are interviews, are two
Yeah.
people talking about uh, their work or whatever it is, and the reference video they send is behind the scene. So how can this be like? Do you understand the reference video is completely different to the content?
It's not in context with what they really want.
Yeah. So I called this one person who got me the job. I was like telling this guy that how is this possible, and he's like, okay, you know what? Do what you feel like doing.
Okay.
And to be honest, there was not much in the video. Like there were just
Yeah.
two people talking the same background, and that's it. So what I did was very simple. I had a banner, I added subtitles, I added the logo.
Okay.
I just colored it. That's it. That's what I did, and they were impressed.
Oh wow.
So so this is what it is like when you get a job from what you said. Sometimes people send this, and I think as video editors, you need to be very honest with your client as much as possible. Because when I get videos like portrait mode and all like a vertical this thing, landscape mode, I always tell them that hey dude, listen, this is this video, and I don't think this can work out. Can you
Yeah.
just check if you have any other replacement to it?
Okay.
Or I can just cut it. I can just do something else through this video,
Yeah.
because you can always turn a landscape video into a portrait, and but you can't turn a portrait into a landscape.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, so that's I tell them I can just make it a square and just put it there. That's easier than
So this is another question for you. So, do you want to be a part of the shooting process, or you just you can just edit a video like if they just give it to you? Do you mind being consulted for the shooting process beforehand, or do you just want the videos and you can edit it anyhow? It's totally up to you.
uh,
Yeah.
okay. So personally, I
Okay.
love shooting videos. I love shooting videos, but I haven't gotten so much of content of what to shoot about.
Yeah.
But as a video editor, when you are in market, this is one thing you need to know, that not always you get the chance to be a part of that shooting process. You're
Okay.
always the guy behind the scene and behind the post production guy.
Yeah.
And I have so far whatever I've edited.
Yeah.
apart from the ones I've directed by myself. I've edited what others have shot. So
Okay.
I think uh, I'll tell you what I edited first. First was vlogs, and I used to edit vlogs for these people, and the number I so when you are editing a vlog as a viewer, I don't know what I'm getting. I
Okay.
don't know what I'm not ready for
Yeah.
what I'm about to. I don't know the context. I don't have the storyline.
Okay.
There is nothing planned.
Yeah.
There's just bunch of videos. I have to make it together and make it look interesting as possible.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you this one incident that I got around 259 videos.
Okay.
Not joking. I got
That's a lot.
259 videos. And when I put it in my timeline, I had to go through each all of one of them because I don't want to make, I don't want to be missing on a content that is very important for the
Yeah.
people. And the whole timeline when I put the video was basically around 3 hours 57 minutes.
Okay.
I have to cut that video down to 7 minutes.
Oh, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of
So
work.
yeah, it took me like 2 days to finish it,
Yeah.
and I went through all of them, taking the best part of the videos and editing. But to be honest, I'm not ready for what I'm getting because that's vlog, and
Yeah.
I don't have the script for it. There's no
Yeah.
particular way of putting it. There's just bunch of people talking. If it's funny, you just put it. If it's interesting, you just put it. So
Yeah.
that's how I am. But right now, I think the number of work I've done like that, I got so used to it
Yeah.
that I can edit, so I have no problem. Like I know what uh, when I ask my client what do you want, and this is what he says, and there's a video about. I think that's easier for me to understand. Yeah, like that is one part of that. So
Yeah.
you'll understand the more you work with that kind of a flow. You
The
understand
experience
how
is
it.
gained more. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. I think that's a main part of working on these kind of vlogs and impromptu videos. Like I've had a lot of like I just randomly take videos. I think you are also part of a few vlogs of mine. Like we just randomly take a few videos and just edit it together. The most fun thing I've edited is the dance video we did, and it is too. It is
Is this
like
gonna play here for a while now? Is this gonna come here? Pop up?
should we? Should we is the question. If we can,
Yeah, but
let's do it.
the thing is, when you shooting by yourself and
Yeah,
when you edit, you know
it's
how it
fun.
is. You know
Yeah,
what you want. You know what
exactly.
the script is. Like there's no script, but you know how the flow of the video is gonna be.
Yeah, you know
But
the timeline of what you want on the
yeah,
stream. Yeah,
but being a video editor and not knowing what the timeline is gonna be, it's very hard to be honest. But
yeah,
as of now, I've got used to it because I'm working since 4 5 months. I got used to it.
yeah. That's amazing. Okay, so you spoke about editing a video for two days. Okay, so let's now talk about health. What do you do for your health, and how bad is your status in health right now because of your video editing routine or the way you work? So what do you do? Do you take breaks in between, or do you do some kind of light stretching exercises or things like that, or you just sit straight, try to complete the video?
So I'll tell you this very honest answer, and this is very recent that I've got a job, video
Okay.
editing job. Uh, I was given a job on 16th and like this month, like June 16th,
Okay.
and sorry, let me just cut the part of
Yeah,
it
yeah,
when I'm talking.
yeah.
Right? Yeah, I was given a job on
Okay.
a particular day, and 4 days later, I was supposed to submit it.
Okay.
Okay, so I just didn't do any work.
Okay.
Of course, I have this confidence on myself that I can make a video within 1 hour. I can submit it.
Okay.
So when I sit on a video, I'm very sure when I sit on a video,
Hmm.
I don't feel like getting up till I'm done.
Okay.
So I don't feel like it. The only exercise I go to when I sit and work on a video is either the washroom or I have to eat something or drink water.
Yeah.
That's the only way to get up if I'm sitting on a video.
Yeah.
And I think people who stay with me know that I get up at 5 o'clock. If I get an idea instantly, I get up at 5 o'clock and I sit on that video till 10 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
So that's how it is. So whenever I'm like have this confidence in myself that I can edit a video very fast,
Yeah.
and So I was telling I got this video and I was supposed to give 4 days later, but completely like 3.5 days. I just
Wasting
didn't
it.
do any.
Yeah.
I was wasting it. I was roaming around with friends. I had exam and everything,
Yeah.
and I think evening 4 o'clock was a submission,
Okay.
and I gave the video at. I started the video at 2 o'clock and I submitted by 4 o'clock.
Wow.
And the first draft that I submitted, they loved it.
Oh wow. Okay.
There were just minor changes that they wanted. I think,
Yeah.
and I think I showed it to you just now
Yeah.
a while ago, and that's how it is. So all it takes. So I'm not telling that throughout my 3 days of chilling, I did not think about the work. I
Yeah.
thought about the work. Okay, it's
Okay.
all. I think I knew what I wanted to do, but I was also confused. To be very honest,
Okay.
I didn't know how to. Like when you start, like you always when you starting to a project, there's always this one confusion of how to start it.
Yeah.
And
I
once
think
you
the
start it,
biggest confusion is how to start and end a video. The in
yeah.
between
So
is
when
like
you
really easy.
yeah, the once you started,
Yeah.
you just go with the
The
flow,
flow. Yeah.
and it just, and like ending is what again confusing part. But the most important part is the start.
Yeah.
So 3 days, I just thought of how I could do the video in a way that it is like it could match the client's expectation.
Okay.
And yeah, so I would say that it's like I'd use a proper word instead of resting.
Yeah.
It was I was building up an idea, or it was just an idea building stage for me.
Okay. It's the
When I
ideation stage for you.
Yeah, the ideation stage for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, for me this 3 days was this ideation stage, and I was like, it is a. I think yeah, that's how it works. And I always, this is not just one video. For
Yeah.
me, any video that I get, even when I'm doing a time, like even when all the videos are timed and I'm cut and I cut and I'm
Yeah.
already done cutting part and I'm
Okay.
almost done there, I
Okay.
always go back and check all the videos again. And I
Okay.
take a while. I just think about it, and like it's not like thinking about it, like just leaving it and forgetting it. I
Yeah.
just take my time to think of how better I can do the video.
Okay.
It's always the final touch up that matters.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, that's how it is.
Amazing. Yeah, that's a lot of work that goes into just creating a video. And for like talking about the resting time or the ideation period. Let's talk about creator burnouts. What do you do when you have a burnout of you just don't have an idea? What do you do? Do you take a break? Do you go drink some coffee or do you go for a long walk? Or you just sit there and just try to get an idea or something like that? What do you do at those times?
This is this one thing I always do when I'm on a burnout thing.
Okay.
I always go for walks.
Yeah.
I listen to music. I go for a walk. I either have go for tea,
Okay.
or I'm just leave for a while and like sitting idle. Or I go on a YouTube and just look at random videos that get me ideas. So
Yeah.
this 3 things, and like I'll tell you how each and one of them help. So when I'm going on a walk, I have earphones on. So
Yes.
I have this I have a space when I'm alone and I'm on a walk of thinking what I want. Like I can actually go like think of
Yeah.
how I want. I'll be replaying a video over and over again. So if like it just keeps going over in my head, like okay, this part if I just cut it and add little more to it, it'd be very fun. And if I
Yeah.
add a reaction video to here, it'd be very fun.
Yeah.
If I add this particular text or this particular transition here, it'd be very fun. So and if I add this particular music, and which particular music suits, like what music is needed, what kind of a genre that the video requires for the like video,
Yeah.
is what I think about all the time when I'm walking. Same implies to when I'm like sitting idle or just lying down and doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And when I'm watching videos, I intend to adapt. Okay,
Okay.
there's always this adaptive thing. So I think yeah, I just adapt the people. Like I just watch people how they are being creative in a way, like the kind of colors they are trying to use, the editing process, or how the video editors trying to send out a message without
Yeah.
a voice,
Yeah.
without speaking. So that's how I have this brainstorm session of how like the ideation period goes on.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, I think creator burnout is one of the most scariest things anybody would want to happen,
To be
especially when you're
honest,
working on some really huge video.
yeah, that's the like I'm not gonna lie. I had
Yeah,
this creator burnout thing so many times. Like I'm always afraid like what happens if I actually run out of ideas.
yeah,
And sometimes, right, when you edit something, you wanna give up halfway through because you just don't know what to do after that. So I think it's very common, but the way you are uh, trying to handle it is up to you.
yeah.
Is what I'm yeah. But that's a very like actually the scariest part of what if you run out of ideas is like the most important, like, the scariest part.
Yes, the scariest part. I think also being a creator, you can never run out of ideas because you can create ideas out of anything. Like if we look at the internet right now, content can be created of out of nothing. Like an egg got so many million, an egg or something, right? If I'm not wrong, there are like yeah, there are so many weird things that are catching up. So many different trends, dance trends, musical trends, and things like that. Yeah, so content can be created out of nothing basically. Even if you have a piece of like a pencil, you can write a poetry out of it, or you can create some kind of a stop motion video, or take a photograph that's in different ways. Yeah. So talking about that, uh, how important do you feel observation skills are when you are a creator and a video editor?
I think observation skills is everything. So, like, you mean when you edit a video, see, to be very honest, this happens a lot of time. Okay,
Yeah.
I finish rendering the video,
Okay.
I go back again to it, and like as a I'll talk as a common person. Like every video has a thing. You find a bug, but you choose not to do it again. You either have two options. You either do the
Yeah.
video again and remove the bug,
Okay.
like remove a small mistake, or either give it and think nobody would notice. So you have to observe, like when you are a video editor, you have to observe every little thing. Like if you miss out on something, I
Yeah.
think the very best example, I'm not saying this one particular show is very bad, but I really like it's very good, but you know this one season, the last season of Game of Thrones, there was a very
Yeah.
blunder. Starbucks cup
Coffee
was
cup.
there.
Yeah. Exactly.
So like that's where the observation
Observation
skills,
skills. Yeah.
yeah.
Matters.
So we all could notice, we all could see that blunder,
Yeah.
but the fact that the video editor missed it is kind of like, oh my god, how could he? This is such a big show.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not just demeaning them for the one mistake. Like, come on, they have dragons, and
Yeah.
the way the kind of production they have shown is great. But you
Yeah.
know what? At the end of the day, that
It's that
one
small
mistake,
thing. Yeah. Is what
yeah,
demeans the whole production crew.
yeah. So for me, I'm kind of a perfectionist. So when I
Yeah.
see a small mistake, uh,
Correct it.
I have to correct it
Yeah.
because I know that tomorrow I'm gonna show my work to someone, and someone is gonna check my YouTube and like, you
Yeah.
have this mistake.
Exactly.
To be honest, it's not good to be. I don't like to be pointed out on like, oh, yeah, this is bad. This is
Yeah.
like the video is bad. So I think I for me observation skill, like I observe every single thing in my video. If there's something wrong,
Yeah.
I try to do it. But like yeah, but sometimes you get caught up in a deadline,
Yeah.
like deadline, and you have no other option, and that's how they continue. So it's
Yeah.
kind of it hurts when people don't wait, like
Yeah.
because there's a but yeah, deadline is deadline.
Yeah. Deadlines are sometimes like a pain. Yeah.
Yeah, and observation skills are everything. If you ask me, like that's the most important. I think one of the most important parts of uh, the video editing process because you can't miss anything. Like
Yeah.
uh, being a video editor, this is very important because you are make you, it's not the director like it's the director, but what you make, people are looking at every cuts, at
Yeah.
everything you're doing. People, guys who don't know about video editing will also judge you. if you have one mistake.
Yeah.
So as a video editor, it's not just uh people's, yeah, like sometimes as while editing video, I sit back and I see from people's perspective of
Okay.
how the video is gonna be. And if it's not what I if me being, if I look from people's perspective and does not please me, then be like, yeah, no, this is not the one. I'm like, have to do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So observation skills. I'll tell you one story where the promotional video we created for our college, the visual
I
communication
have
promotion. Yeah. So
I
what
removed
happened?
bugs in it. I did not want to say it, but yeah, the
Yeah.
video is good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's too good. Actually, Varun did an amazing job in editing it. So we did
Uh,
this one crazy thing. Okay, so there's this towards the end. There's this join us for the next academic year. So before that, it was a template. So there's this blah 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 thing written one frame, and Abisa was going through the video, and towards the end, he just stopped the video and it stuck right in that frame where it says blah blah blah. And so I was like, please make that change. So observation skills like are really important when you're a video editor, because if you don't notice these small things, somewhere in the audience they're gonna find it out and they're gonna be like, okay, that is a huge mistake, like the Starbucks coffee cup. And speaking about the Starbucks coffee cup, I think it's more something related to marketing stunt or something, or it's totally the production's fault. You can't blame the video editor because he would have found it. They can't make the change because it's millions of dollars being spent on creating a set like that. So, or they could have chosen another camera angle. It's all up to the director. So, yeah. So now talking about all of this work, all we have observation skills, creator burnout. We've done so much. The end is, what do you get from it? So it's satisfaction and food on your table. So when it comes to asking people on, how much you want to pay, how much they want to pay, do you tell them a price beforehand, or like saying, or do you ask a budget and then try to work on it, or you just tell them this is how much I charge and I can't go lower than this, and you can find another editor. Do you do that at times?
so I have never sent or never told that you need the editor. Okay.
Yeah.
So when I always before I when I if I get a freelance work,
Yeah.
I ask them what I first would like to hear. What are the needs?
Okay.
So I always want to, I want to, like, this is very important. Before you start a conversation, if you say that my features are this
Yeah.
and this is what I am doing, and then listen to the part of, like, listen to them, then I
Yeah.
think you're not making communication. So I
Yeah.
think there should be a fair exchange of, uh,
Like some
like,
personal touch connect. Yeah.
yeah. So I try to, first of all, the most important thing while talking to clients, I try to comfort them. Like, hey, how you doing? I'm doing great. I'm Joshua. I'm a builder. I'm gonna
Yeah.
introduce myself. Like, though you heard about me before,
Yeah.
I'm gonna introduce myself, and I brief them about what I do and how I do, what softwares I use beforehand.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, so can you tell me what are your needs? And I'm gonna brief you about it.
Yeah.
So sometimes, okay,
Okay.
does not happen every time. They ask, what's your fee?
Okay.
And you can either avoid the question by saying, I would first like to hear your content, what your video is about, and
Okay.
tell. Or you can just say that I usually charge this much,
Okay.
and yeah, I usually charge this much per minute, and this are my charges, but I would like to hear you first. This is the two ways you can counter the questions.
Yeah.
So either way, you are trying to be honest. Like, if you tell, I charge this much.
Yeah.
For example, I charge 5,000 per minute,
Okay.
but I would like to listen to your what you have in mind. Or you can be like, I would like to listen to your this thing. Then I would like try to ask charge up accordingly.
Yeah.
So at the same time, that's how I do. So I first ask, hear the content, like what the video is about, what the client wants, every single thing, details, everything I take, and I be like, yeah. So sir, I've heard about you, and usually I always use this word. Okay,
Okay.
usually I charge much,
Yeah.
but from you I take this. Okay, it's not like
Yeah.
that. So my goal is to get the usually I charge is not my goal.
Yeah.
But for you, I'll charge is what I want, what my
Yeah.
actual fee is. For
Okay.
example, usually I charge 10,000 for 1 minute video,
Okay.
but for you, I charge 6, 7, or 8,000.
Yeah.
So here the client would be like, oh yeah,
You're playing a
this guy,
psychology trick over there.
yeah, the client would be like, okay, this guy is honest and he's
Yeah.
going to give me a discount,
Yeah.
and he would be intrigued because like you're making a first of all you're making comfort space for him.
Yeah.
You're hearing how to, you're letting him speak, you're
Exactly.
listening, you're learning, and you're like you're understanding, and then you're giving a feedback. So here he would be like, oh yeah, this is either works. And also this also happens very often when you ask for a certain price, when you ask for a certain price, they'll be like, can you reduce more?
Yeah.
So I can identify who can ask that, who cannot, while
Yeah.
talking to them itself.
Yeah.
So I play smart there as well. So
Okay.
I like usually I charge 15,000,
Yeah.
but I'm charging 10,000 from you.
Yeah.
But what I want is 8,000. So
Okay.
he'll be like, can you ask for a little less? Then I'm like, yeah, sure, 8,000 must be good. I can't get over under that.
Yeah.
So you are getting what you want, but also you're not like having a respect. You're not like you're losing the
Yeah.
communication you're having.
Yeah.
And I think by the time the client is gonna keep the call, he's gonna be impressed by you and would be very excited to see your work. I think
Yeah.
that's the kind of impression you make when you are thing. But I think a lot of creators, especially now, like this is an emerging age where
Yeah.
creators have very wide scope,
Yeah.
and a lot of creators when you are a creator, people expect, especially people who you are close to, expect things for free.
Yeah. Very much. Yeah.
And I know my friend Emmanuel that this is a very deep connection, but
Yeah.
yeah, people expect things for free, and that's not that's the truth. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's all up to like how you're gonna tackle that, and you need to be vocal. When you need money, you just have to like, here,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, I would love to do for free, but I
Yeah.
charge.
Yeah.
So this is how you, I think vocaling up is important, because once you don't uh, say anything, they're gonna
Yeah.
keep expecting from you for free,
Yeah.
and that keeps happening all the
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
I think, yeah, that's one thing I've learned throughout working as a video editor and videographer. Yeah. I think asking people for money is something that's very uncomfortable, especially when you're a young youth who's just gonna ask somebody like, "Hey, do you mind if I charge?" But then I've learned this thing I've learned this from somebody I look up to. Like, he gave me my first work. So Anish is like a big, you know, he taught me this. So he any work he gives anyone, he makes sure he pays them, even if it's something he wants them to speak, or he wants a video edited, or he wants a musical thing done. He makes sure he gives some money, and that's something that's very respectful from being a client. Like, he being a client is making sure who he's employing is being paid, even though it's a freelance work or something he does for a friend. Even if it's a friendly thing, he makes sure they are paid. So I think that's something a lot of us have to learn, especially being creators, because when you're a creator, you have a lot of expenses. It's not just like you're sitting in front of your laptop and going ta 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 ta, there you have a video. Like, you have the softwares that's really expensive, your internet charges, and if you're getting a video done in an hour, that's not because of the software or the computer he has. That's because the editor has spent like 10 years or 5 years or 3 years like trying to master the craft. And that's one way you can support your friend, like your friend or your family or your relatives. uh, in that way, we'll have to, even if it's a small thing, it means a lot for these people, because it's not like uh, we just out of, and these are not cheap things. These are not like a mobile phone that's 10,000, 15,000. These softwares are really expensive, like 29,000, 30,000. Or a camera itself is not going to cost you like 5,000 or 6,000 rupees. It's like in lakhs. A lens itself is in lakhs, or a tripod is like 10, 15,000. So over there is where that that it's that ethics and that, that personal beliefs of people that matters. But yeah, I think in that case, asking people for money is a, because you have done your work, you have created something out of hard work, and hard work needs to be paid, and that's something that's required of everyone, because it's not just in video editing. In any field, if somebody is working, you have to pay them, you ought to pay them for what they do. And unless it's a volunteered service, NGOs or religious organizations, there, yeah, understandable, these people are volunteering themselves. But when it comes to works and things like that, yes. So moving on, I have another question. Okay, so go on.
No, I completely agree to what you said
Yeah,
because see, I've done work for free, and I felt really horrible of doing
yeah.
it for free. But that was an opportunity that I would
To learn.
like
Yeah,
glad that I'm not. I don't regret not asking money,
yeah,
but I think the amount of time that is being going on and the kind of interest, the kind of hard work you're doing for the video should be paid.
yeah,
It's either see, I think it's not. It's like I don't tell that you paid by respect,
yeah,
not just that,
yeah,
but also with the money. Like even the designer expect like the video editor have certain expectations that are to be met.
yeah,
So I think not just designers, not just the video editors, every field.
yeah.
So
Any
I
field.
think they want something in return, and it's very important to be vocal about it because I know, and there are people like people want to do for free, but they are not able to ask because like they want to charge money, but they can't ask because
Yeah,
uh, they don't want to rule. First of all, the first fear they have is to lose the relationship they have with a certain person,
yeah,
or it's just mostly it's just that they don't want to lose or they don't want to sound rude
yeah.
or something like that. But I think it's very important to be vocal about if you want to charge certain amount.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. So, do you make an exception for some people, like your friends or your family members or something, when it comes to video editing, or do you just go all vocal and be like, no, see, I put this much hard work into creating this, and at least I need this much of a return from it, because that's a lot of work that's going in. Like, I think you
No,
already answered it before, but yeah, I think you can just brief about it a little more.
I think yeah, friends and family have an exception whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
But it's not just like it or not. It's just that you when they come approach you, you would like you want to do it for free, but you also want to charge. When you
Yeah.
want the money, you just ask. So I always have this thing. I always like, yeah, I do it. I actually charge this much, but
Okay.
since I know you, and you are very close to me, I
Yeah.
charge you pay me this much. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be okay with it. That
Yeah.
is what I expect. But if it's in like if in case the return not the return for me, but the return for the video is too much, then
Okay.
obviously there'll be
Yeah.
this one greedy part of the video editor as well
Yeah.
where he's like, yeah, I also need to be paid this much
Yeah.
if you're getting this much.
Yeah.
So it
Definitely.
depends on the kind of production.
Yeah.
At first point, the kind of production it is, and the family member. It depends on the kind of production it is. To be honest,
Yeah. It's
yeah. If
subjective.
it's not, yeah, if it's not that big of a production, like there's no returns from it, then you're like, yeah, I asked like there is this much amount of money I charge, and this is much how you can pay me. Like how much
Yeah.
you should.
Yeah. So moving on, like we see that creators, there are a ton of creators nowadays. There's a lot of video editing softwares. Video editing has become more easy, and it's become more, kind of open to everyone, where anyone can be a video editor and anyone can be a creator. So, what do you think when it comes to those aspects, to these kind of video editors who are working for it, where, because anybody can now download a software like, DaVinci Resolve, or any mobile editing software like InShot, or any software that's on your that's free. So what do you think is the role of a video editor over there that can make a change? How do you be the change in places like that?
Okay, so this is a very good question. So I think at some point of time, we all were in that stage where we used to edit on mobile editing apps and edit in DaVinci or something like that.
Yeah.
And we all grew up from that. So there are there are people who just randomly do that and call, and that's their own way of thing. But how can you stand is depending on what how you're editing the video, the kind of
Yeah.
interest, the kind of creativity you're putting,
Yeah.
and what like this all. I think every video editor has their own style of
Style. Yeah.
editing. There's a style, like no matter you accept it or not, there's a style of video editing that they do. And I think this is what makes them different from each other. Not just video editors to a commoner, but also video editors to video. What differentiates them is the kind of style they maintain.
Yeah.
Like even when it comes to designing, whether it's like flashy one or it's like a simple but aesthetic, that's how they are like differentiated.
Yeah.
So I think the style of the way you are editing the video is very important, and that's how it like to be honest, that's how it's done. Like
Yeah.
for me as a video, if I see a video, I talk about how the video can be improved in
Yeah.
every sense. That's
Yes.
what my talk is gonna be like.
Yeah.
If there are no if there are no other input I have, I'll be like, yeah, this is the perfect.
Yeah.
And that's how you can identify. If you see a normal video, to be like, I'll tell you this. If you see a normal person editing a video, you can actually
Point it
identify,
out. Yeah.
you point it out that it's a video editor's job or like a person.
Yeah.
Because yeah, it's very evident of how a video editor would do it. But not all videos are same. I'm not
Yeah.
telling every few people do this mistake, like like go over the head and do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But it's very evident sometimes to point out video editor's job, a professional video editor's job.
Yeah. I think also coming to all of these really, the latest generation of technology and a lot of softwares rolling out. Yeah, I think a video editor's real standpoint would come especially when they are consistent in their style, the way they do it, and what makes a video editor stand out from the rest of the crowd of video editors, like the younger generation of video editors or the people who do it for fun, are I think the quality they produce, the way they use elements, or the way they use cuts, or the way they use audio, or anything that's on frame, is like how they use it, why they use it, and for what they use it. If they answer those questions, they know what they're doing, and it brings in a lot of meaning in their videos. And moving on, this is a final question of the day. What do you, as a video editor and a content creator, have to say about give to the younger generation of the next generation of video editors who are coming up, and any words of encouragement that you want to tell them?
Not much of a inspiring story I have, especially in
Yeah.
college. Like, uh, but to be very honest, I have started from my journey of like before I become a video editor officially, before becoming a designer officially, I started from the lowest standard, like editing videos in InShot,
Yeah.
going through the music, and I started from there. To
Yeah.
be very honest, and I've come all this way far because I had an interest, and as a video editor, I this is like not just a video editor, as a designer as well, every single day is an opportunity to learn something new.
Yeah.
And
Very true.
this is to be like, no matter how big of an video editor you become, there's always a room for a room for learning, what like a room for learning something.
Yeah.
And like no matter how grow, like this is the most important, like no matter, like this is how you keep yourself down to earth.
Yeah.
This is what grounds you and keeps you grounded on how you're going to edit your video. And it's like, yeah, like I said, I want, like, my goal is to become a flexible like a flexible video editor or a flexible
Creator.
designer. And
Yeah.
I do that, like I'm up, currently I'm doing that. I try to adapt, uh, I try to adapt like animation stuff at
Yeah.
the same time editing vlogs, at the same time a document, at the same time I'm doing three different, like as of now as well, I'm doing three different uh, video editing things
Genres.
in
Yeah.
different genres, right?
Yeah.
As of now, I can do that. So it's not just sticking to one. I know if you have a style, continue with that.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong in continue, and that's what makes you who you are.
Yeah.
And if you want to be a kind of a video editor that would be flexible in all kind of genres, I think that's a very great plus point for you as well.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, if you have an interest, you would definitely excel
Yeah.
in anything you want. Like, yeah, like I was literally, I like I told, I was editing in very like a very small thing. But
Yeah.
the kind of videos like, to be very honest, the first music video that I ever edited was on InShot, and
Okay.
it was just not the quality at that time. It was
Yeah.
just my interest and my hard work and how I put it in that video. Is like I just people told that to me. Like I got so much of input, and my first video editing as director and as like editor was on phone,
Okay.
and the kind of inputs I've got, like to produce a video shot on a phone and edited on a phone and release it and thousands of people watching it is
Yeah.
like it gave me an encouragement that I can do better.
Yeah.
And I just keep making something or the other. I either in my free time I either design something or either look for editing.
Yeah.
There's the only two things. So I think the interest, or it all depends on the interest. And if you want to be a video writer, then
Yeah.
I think it all takes a leap of faith. Is what I really think, because
Yeah.
I have started settling, like I still earn 20,000 in non-media field, and for me to come down to 5,000 earning, I
Yeah.
was for me it was a challenging step, to be very
Yes.
honest.
Yeah.
Like it was a very challenging step,
It's
and
risky.
I
It's
was
very risky because you never
yeah,
know when your paycheck is gonna come next. Yeah.
and I'm very happy as of now because I'm doing what I love. Even though it's little amount, but it satisfies me because
Yeah.
I'm getting paid for my work. Like the amount of, to be very honest, if you have ever received money for what you have done,
Yeah.
I think you understand the kind of happiness you feel, the kind of satisfaction there is in earning the
Yeah.
amount. And yeah, so the only good suggestion is never stop learning,
Yeah. I
either to
think the more you put your hard work, the 100% you give, and the amount of respect you give yourself, and you're taking that risk and believing in yourself is what matters more. With that, I would like to conclude the first ever episode of Creators Corner. And thank you, Joshua, for being my first guest. And it's been a long time since both of us have been trying to, get on this call and try to do this podcast. We are these kind of guys who would just sit on a phone call or a Zoom call who would just want to talk about random stuff in life and suddenly be like, we have content ideas. Let's work on this. So yeah,
we all
thank.
like this is the thing. Whenever every single time, the first every conversation we have, like, oh, why don't we do a podcast? Why don't we have so much of content ideas?
Yeah,
We can talk about so many stuff. Why don't we just do it?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, so thank you, Joshua, for that. Thank you for those really wise and insightful talks about how to be a great video editor. And good luck wherever we are, wherever we end up right now. We have another year together. And amazing work. There's a lot of work he's done. He's done for Outcast. He shot a lot of music videos, and it's really good. And I've personally seen him evolve as a video editor for the past 2 years, and it's amazing to see somebody like Joshua. So
But yeah, that's. I hope to keep coming to this show.
yes, yes, definitely, I'd love to have you back. Might be once we hit like a
The
million
only person you're
subscribers.
missing out, the only person you're missing out right now is Varun,
Yeah, Varun Vijay. I think he's traveling back, or he would have reached home by now. So
and
I
Anifa
think,
as well someday, I'm sure.
yeah. So I think the next few episodes will again be about art and creativity. So we'll have different aspects of, the creative side, like might be photography or uh, art in general, painting, literature, not literature, but might be we can talk about those also because
It's
it's all a
about
part of,
creativity and
yeah,
vision.
it's more about art and creativity, so it's anything about that. So That's the first ever episode of Creators Corner, and thank you for listening
Okay.
and watching, and goodbye.